The National is great. It is a meeting place. It is a place for businesses to come and show off. It's a place where Ken Golden can set up what he has for auction next week, 50 feet away from what PWCC has for auction next month, 50 feet away from what Heritage has with Stick Your Face in the SGC 9.5 mantle, which, by the way, I saw for the first time yesterday, and it is a gorgeous card. Perfectly centered, real nice card. I want to take a picture of it and post it for you guys because it is, just a gorgeous, gorgeous mantle. Nicer than many, many cards that I've seen. And I will say this, in person, it looks nicer than 10s that I've seen. Yes, I will say that. So I know that sounds silly, but you see that card in person, it's like an awe-inspiring moment to see that kind of card. I have one.
He never finishes the question he's going to ask me.
So here's a question.
Question in 47 parts.
27. Get it right. It's only 27. I only have one question in 27 parts. Dr. Philip Barbet. So the National is a cool place for that show-off stuff. It's a cool place for people to meet. It's a lot of dinners. It's a lot of shake hands. It's a lot of, hey, guys, the hobby comes together. We're all in a great spot. We're all doing great. Here's what my business does. Okay? There are also trade nights and deals going on. But I have what I'm going to say is a hypothesis. I don't think, and I want to know whether you agree. There's my question. My hypothesis is I don't think that the National and trade nights, you name it, is the easiest place for liquidity anymore. And I think while it used to be a great place to go and buy and sell maybe a decade ago, you name it, the tech that has come into the hobby over the last couple of years has made it easier to have that deal flow than it is at this centralized location. And I'm specifically talking about if you happen to be holding a Dwayne Wade card and walking around with it at a show saying, what do you think? 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 And everybody's kind of like, nah. And do you leave and say, well, I'm just going to go on Whatnot and I'm going to sell the damn thing?
I'm going to blow this out.
So talk to me about that, because I was thinking about that this morning, and then you sent me a message and said, I'm going to do a killer show today on Whatnot. And I thought to myself, I got to ask Andrew, is that because you walk around a trade night, which is amazingly packed, but there are kids on the floor, there are kids at tables, and everybody's kind of sitting over their stacks of cards. They put them out on display. I didn't see a lot of transactions going on. I didn't see a lot of people buying, selling. I saw a lot of people talking and stuff, which was a cool hangout, but I didn't actually see the cards being moved around from one person to another.
Is that because this guy, this co-host, he could ask a question, 6 minutes goes by, he's taking us up. This is why you introduced
2-liter.
This is why you introduced the patented, I'm going to go on mute. That wasn't an attack on Andrew, the mute. It was like, hey, the only way I can stop is if I hit that mute button.
Pretty much. But what I did was I asked you a question and gave you the answer.
So have you ever heard of Gage analysis by paralysis? I think that's what happens. I think when you have so many different cards, and it's not like we had this impression that like everyone be carrying around Zion Prism bases everywhere. But that's not the reality. There's a lot of beautiful cards. This is one of the most ancient industries in that there's cards from 78 we saw?
You saw one 1876 yesterday, yeah?
2022. There are so many different cool cards. And what happens is in front of me yesterday, someone offered the titanium metal, the acetate Kobe card, 97, and then red, what was it? It's called like the exceptional, the oval one. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And the kid offered a fair deal. Like I'm watching this play out. Like I'm a bird's eye view right behind the guy. And he offered a fair deal. Below comps, like 20% below. And the guy was paralyzed by looking at comps, and he wanted to pull the trigger, but he didn't at the end. At the end, I traded for the red as exceptional. But the point is, I think there's this analysis by paralysis. There's this subconscious thought going, if I trade or buy with this guy, I cannot do something that may be potentially later on. It's a little bit like our relationship and dating scene in the world right now. It's that swipe, and it's like, and I think a lot of our Luca Nation will understand this. It's like, if I date her, maybe I can't have better.